All right, today we're going to dive into a pretty big idea, one that could totally transform how businesses trade with each other, especially in the huge global automotive aftermarket. We're talking about a platform called PHAMON, and let me tell you, it's a potential game changer.
So let's just start with a simple question. What if all that stock you have sitting in your warehouse wasn't just, a sunk cost? What if you could actually use it like cash to buy the other things your business needs? That's the core idea we're going to unpack right here.
But before we get to the solution, we've got to talk about the problem. And it's a huge one that affects businesses all over the world. It's this challenge of what's called frozen capital. So what exactly is frozen capital? Well, it's that classic situation where you're inventory rich, your warehouse is packed with valuable stuff, but at the same time, you're cash poor. All that inventory that's just sitting there, what they call dead stock, literally freezes your ability to grow your business.
But what if you could just unlock all that trapped value? Well, that's exactly where Famine comes in. Let's take a look at how it's designed to solve this very specific problem.
The whole vision is, it's beautifully simple, but honestly, it's incredibly powerful. Just turn that stagnant inventory into a liquid currency. It's a really fundamental shift in how we think about assets in B2B trade. Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, right? But how does it actually work in practice? Let's break down the mechanics of the platform, which is really all about smart asset swapping. It really boils down to this simple four-step process. First, you list your stock. Then you find a trading partner on the marketplace. Step 3, you agree on the terms of the swap. And finally, you exchange your assets. It's a direct, peer-to-peer system that completely cuts out the middlemen. And the system is super flexible. You can do a pure asset-for-asset swap, 100% trade, or if the values don't perfectly line up, you can use what they call the swap and cash model. That means you only have to pay the small difference, the top-up balance. And that's huge because it means you need way less cash on hand to make a deal happen. Okay, but a big question you might have is, who decides what all this stuff is worth? Well, PHAMON puts its trust in the experts, the traders themselves. The whole platform runs on a model of user-driven valuation, respecting that you, the professional trader, know your market best. So let's get into the core advantages of this system. What really makes this a smarter way to trade? This number right here, 2.5%, is absolutely key to understanding the whole model. It's the totally transparent transaction fee that each client pays on their side of the trade. So if you're swapping your assets, you just pay 2.5% of your assets value. That's it. That means the total platform fee for a successful swap is just 5%. Now, compare that for a second to traditional liquidators. They can take a cut of 15, even 20%. The savings here are absolutely massive. But of course, none of this works without trust, right? Especially when you're talking about trading across borders. And that's where PHAMON's trust anchor comes into play. So what is this anchor exactly? Well, PHAMON is registered in Estonia, and that's a big deal because it means the company operates under the really robust and predictable framework of EU law. This creates a kind of legal safe harbor, and it gives both sides the security they need to make deals with confidence. And building on that idea of trust and direct access, PHAMON has what they call zero gatekeeper onboarding. Basically, that means there are no middlemen, no brokers, just a true peer-to-peer exchange for businesses. You sign up, you do the standard identity checks, and boom, you can start trading. All right, let's zoom out for a second. This isn't just about individual trades. It's about building a massive network and connecting major global trade routes. Now, while the vision is global, the current focus is on a super strategic economic corridor, the one connecting Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa, or MENA, and the wider African continent. And for the automotive aftermarket, this is a massive hub of activity. So what does this look like in the real world? It means seamlessly connecting a business with car bonds in Kampala, Uganda, with a parts wholesaler over in Dubai, and linking them both to a major supplier somewhere in Europe. It's about bridging these markets in a way that used to be incredibly difficult and expensive. So by turning static inventory into a dynamic currency, PHAMON is offering a really powerful new tool for businesses. It seriously challenges that old cash is king mentality and opens up all these new possibilities for growth. Which, of course, leads to the big question, is this kind of smart asset swapping the future of global B2B trade? It's a fascinating thought. Thanks for joining us.